Good morning, social studies families. Welcome to the very boring back wall of the classroom. I had to take all the posters down for EOG testing, which starts this morning with our math test. But I did want to kind of check in and kind of tell you what we've been doing in social studies this week, and then talk a little bit about what we are going to be doing in social studies next week. We have 3 weird scheduled days coming starting today, Tuesday, or up through Tuesday next week. So things are a little bit wonky on schedules, but I'll kind of talk you through how I think it's going to go. So we have started and continue to work with the Middle Ages in the unit number 9. And so we kind of finished the Middle Ages in China, and we've begun the Islamic Golden Age, which we're kind of working on right now. And you can kind of see that. We talked about the impact of the caliphates, what a caliphate was. We talked a little bit, and we're starting to continue to talk about that today, the impact of innovations, trade, and travel. We introduced Ibn Battuta, who was a Muslim kind of scholar and traveler who left Tangiers, Morocco, and went on this 30-year epic journey around the whole of really the Islamic world, which I talked about with students yesterday, how I was kind of jealous of the world that he got to see as he traveled around for 30 years. We're going to continue talking a little bit about him and then into some of the Islamic Golden Age innovations and things that were going on in the Muslim world during the Middle Ages. We're going to continue that. Today, we'll continue that probably into Monday, as we have these kind of strange schedules where some of the kids will see social studies today and some of them won't see social studies until Monday. So that's going to carry that on. We do have the Byzantine Empire to talk a little bit about, and that is where we're going to go next week. Let me just show you next week real fast. So again, EOG language arts, or the reading test on Monday, kind of messes with the schedule. So I've kept the Byzantine location and success of Constantinople on there because some of the kids won't have seen that. They might not even see it until Tuesday. We're going to see how the schedule goes. Tuesday is also a funny schedule because 8th grade has to take the science EOG, and so that messes up the school schedule on Tuesday. But if we get to it, we're going to continue talking about the Byzantine Empire. Most of next week we'll be talking about Justinian's Code, how it changed Byzantine society. We'll talk a little bit about the differences between the Eastern Roman Empire, that's the bit what we today call the Byzantine Empire, and the Western Roman Empire, which is the traditional one that we think about when we think about the Roman Empire. The differences and the similarities between those two places. We'll talk a little bit about the Great Schism and the religion split between the Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church. We're going to talk a little bit about key people in the both rise and the fall of the Byzantine Empire, and that's going to talk about the Ottoman Turks coming in and how that empire kind of takes over. And then if we get to it, we talk about the European Middle Ages with the rise of feudalism, but I really honestly think that that will probably not come until the week after that with all these funny schedules and seeing how things go. So that's what we're kind of been working on. I will show you this just fast. This is, of course, my Canvas site. It looks a little bit different on the kids' side because I have more things like this Empire report card is something that I can see, but the kids can't see. You can see the little check mark here and a little X here. That kind of tells me that the kids can see the check marks. I can see everything. So it's a little bit different, but basically everything is on Canvas now. So Islamic Golden Age was the Caliphate's day 1. So if you've ever missed a day, you can always go back and look at it. Or if you want to talk to your kids about what's happening, you can go and have them open that up and kind of talk you through the lesson for that day there. The Islamic Golden Age day 2 is where we are right now, and we're continuing. And then you can see the Byzantine Empire and Constantinople and Justinian's Code, and here's the East versus West and the Ottoman Empire. It's all just kind of laid out right there. You'll notice there's no green check marks here. I'm going to release it as we go and then hide it when we finish. You'll notice I've hidden all the China stuff, but that way it gets a little confusing for kids when everything's there. So we're kind of just showing them what we're doing right then, and then I'll hide it and open up the new stuff. So that's kind of where we're going with social studies and where we've been with social studies. So not a lot to talk about. Grades are due on the 4th, and that means next Thursday, and so there's not a lot of other things that it's going to get graded this school year, so we're kind of running out of time and energy, but we'll see how things go. Good luck today on everything. Have a lovely weekend. We're going to see you next week.